For decades, Puerto Ricans have been misled. Misled into believing that through referendums, we could decide our political destiny. But the truth is harsher. Those votes have always been meaningless. Here's why. Puerto Rico is an unincorporated territory. Under U.S. law, that means the island belongs to, but is not part of the United States. Until Congress passes legislation to make Puerto Rico an incorporated territory, the idea of statehood isn't even on the table. And yet, for decades, Puerto Rico has been reconstructing its life around these empty promises. Referendums in 1967, 1993, 1998, 2012, 2017, and 2020 all sold as steps toward change. But none of them had binding power. They were political theater. Nothing more. Contrast this with Hawaii. Hawaii was incorporated in 1898, and still it waited over 60 years to become a state. Puerto Rico, after decades of votes and false hope, it remains unincorporated, never even given the starting line. So yes, Puerto Ricans have been misled for generations, led to believe that the ballot held the key to freedom, when in reality, Congress alone has always held that power. For decades, we have been reconstructing our lives around an illusion, and it is time we finally break free from this deception. And now, a direct question to those who have spent years promoting their agendas, to the independence movement, to the Commonwealth supporters, and to the statehood advocates. In all these decades of propaganda, of speeches, of pushing your agenda as the only path forward, how is it that you never looked the Puerto Rican people in the eye and told them the truth? How come you never explained that Puerto Rico is an unincorporated island? How come you never told the people that, in order for Puerto Rico to even be considered for statehood, Congress must first pass legislation to change its status from unincorporated to incorporated, just as they did with more than 30 other states during the colonial days of the United States? Why did you hide that fact? Why do you continue to go around making it seem as if it is as simple as the people deciding, when in reality, the decision has always been in Congress's hands? Congress must first remove Puerto Rico's unincorporated status before it can ever be considered for statehood. That is the truth. To the independence movement and the Commonwealth supporters, you benefit from the island's unincorporated status, and that's why you avoid this truth. To the statehood advocates, you mislead by pretending it can be skipped that Puerto Rico can somehow jump straight into statehood without first being incorporated. That's a lie. So I say this to my brothers and sisters on the island: wake up. You don't have to believe me. Look at the facts. Do your own research. It's all written in law and history. This is no fabrication. This is how the United States has treated every single territory, incorporated or unincorporated, and the facts remain. Puerto Rico has been unincorporated since the U.S. invasion in 1898, not once in any form. In any session of Congress has there ever been serious discussion about changing that status. Meanwhile, every one of the 30-plus states that enter the Union first received incorporated status. Hawaii was one of them. Incorporation first, statehood later. Always. So here it goes, a direct message to Congress. If you have no intention of ever granting Puerto Rico incorporation status, if you will never even consider statehood, then set the island free from bondage. Allow Puerto Rico to become what it was always meant to be, an autonomous community, the 18th autonomy of Spain, rejoining the nation that gave us our culture, our language, and our first self-government. Puerto Ricans have been misled for decades, but the truth about the referendum must be told, and the time for real freedom has come. Puerto Rico, open your eyes. Subscribe, like, share, and press the notification button for more content. See you soon.